Checking out the Path of Exile 3.26 Secrets of the Atlas expansion announcement. Shout out to GGG, aka Grinding Gear Games, for sponsoring us here for this, as well as the launch of the season once again. I'm very excited to see what we got going. Over on Twitch, by the way, we are currently streaming live as well. And if you're watching the VOD, if I hit 3,000 subs because we're in the Thon 2, I'm playing hardcore for the first time, baby.
And today we're here to showcase a new expansion for PoE 1. It's certainly been too long since we had one of these. Now, we had some struggles as a studio for a little while there, but we've got our shit together and we're back in action now. Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas is coming out 1 week from now on the 13th of June, and we're committing right now to a 4-month cycle for both PoE 1 and 2. That means the next PoE 2 League will be in August, and the next PoE 1 League after that will be in October. Twitch drops are enabled on today's livestream, so you'll be able to claim your Skull of Undeath helmet skin by following the instructions below.
I paused the timer.
This Skull of Undeath will track and show your total number of kills, deaths, and your KDR. Just because Path of Exile isn't a first-person shooter doesn't mean this isn't important. Proudly or shamefully, link it to your friends or in global chat to show it off.
Nice.
And with that, let's get to why you're here. Secrets of the Atlas.
You can search 1,000 worlds and still never truly discover who you are. Trust me. I should know.
Oh?
But now, I seek something more tangible. Someone I care for, trapped within the Atlas.
Zanna?
Reliving memories, made real.
What have you done?
Made grotesque. Made foul.
Whoa. Whoa.
These manifestations must be destroyed.
New
Their
bosses?
threats must be eradicated. I must have answers. We must find the originator. We must save my sister.
Oh shit, that's his sister?
Her power is an illusion made real.
What the hell is Rune Graft?
Come, child. Drink deep the waters of life.
You're either a client or a target.
Target inside.
Job's done.
Oh, wait. Oh my god, you can equip Mercenaries? Ooh.
Your sanity is not promised to you here.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. As you just saw from the trailer, there's a lot to show you.
Yeah, there is.
Today, we will take you on a deep dive into the new Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas in-game update. Then, we'll explore the new Challenge League, the Mercenaries of Trathus. After that, we'll cover the integration of gold into PoE 1 and how we're bringing Settlers of Calguran into the
gold's
core
coming.
game. Finally, we have a much-awaited upgrade to Betrayal League and a set of quality of life improvements. Then, we'll wrap up by discussing our boss kill race event, showing you our new supporter packs, and ending with a live Q&A session, where
Okay.
ZBD will ask Jonathan and I your questions from Twitch chat. In Path of Exile Secrets of the Atlas, strange rifts have begun to appear across the Atlas. Zanna has returned and appears to be trapped within. Partway through the endgame, you will meet Egan, an intelligent man of mysterious heritage. These tears in reality he has discovered are actually threads of memory, distorted and made real by the Atlas. Egan is able to create a link to these memory threads and open portals to them.
Okay.
Working with Egan, you must step through and find Zanna, or whatever remains of her.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the story background, but how does this expansion actually work? In the Secrets of the Atlas, the Pursuit of Zanna with Egon is a new storyline that is introduced in high-tier maps. Upon meeting Egon and discovering the tier, he will then transfer it to your map device and reveal this on your atlas, a thread of memories. In order to now access each map on the thread, you simply need to talk to Egon when you're ready, and he'll open the areas in sequence. These areas can be fully influenced by your atlas tree, scarabs, fragments, and everything of the sort.
Great.
As you work your way along the thread, you will discover that these maps have manifested dangerous threats, influenced by the memories of Zanna herself. Monsters here are imbued with memory petals. Defeat them to absorb this power, which can be unleashed as a special ability during combat. Different maps on the thread have different abilities, and these abilities appear on an additional mini skill bar next to your regular skills. For example, Memory of Disbelief will cause all affected monsters to stop dropping equipment items, meaning they can now only drop more valuable items, like currency and maps. Memory of Panic will make all affected monsters revive immediately after death.
Why does this look so low bitrate?
Twice as much experience and drops from
Wait, they're streaming in 4K?
Memory of Impatience will cause all surrounding enemies to give you their souls, temporarily increasing your power. As you progress further into the thread of memories,
Why are they streaming in 4K?
The maps can have more than one memory, and thus you can have more than one powerful ability. As you gather memory petals, you can use these powers together.
It looks like
Each skill
shit.
costs its own amount of memory petals. Above, you can first use Memory of Impatience to become way more powerful, then use Memory of Panic to prepare them to revive when they are slain, then use Memory of Disbelief to cause them to drop better, more valuable items.
Okay.
Finally, obliterate them all. The Memory of Panic will kick in, causing them to revive, and then wipe them out again, allowing you to get all the experience.
That's a lot
and
of loot.
enhanced
Holy
drops
shit.
twice. There are many combinations of these powers, so you'll have to carefully consider how they best work together. That's not the only extra layer of content juicing these maps offer. As you defeat the boss of each map along the thread, you are presented with an altar. This altar will apply a modifier to all following maps in the thread.
Whoa.
And these will stack as you go. So the deeper you delve into a memory, the more mods you will have.
Whoa.
This, combined with the special abilities, will allow for some of the most juice maps ever run in Path of Exile. Let's take a look at some of the altar mods. You are always presented with two choices and must pick one.
Map craft applied to this
mod,
area
for
had no
example,
cost.
will cause some rare monsters to be possessed by tormented spirits. Where this mod makes Kerek modifiers free to craft. Both of these apply to all subsequent maps in the thread. The final map in each thread is a true challenge, with all the altar mods applying to it and guarded by a powerful boss. Each of these bosses are familiar, but dreamlike, drawn from Zanna's memories and warped by the Atlas into something very different and terrifying. In this map, you will fight the pinnacle boss, Cirrus. Fueled by Zanna's affectionate memories of him, his enhanced abilities can prove to be a unique challenge. If you manage to defeat Cirrus, or one of the other warped memory bosses, they will drop a map fragment, which Egon can use to delve deeper into the memory tiers.
Great.
With these, you can access a set of 3 new pinnacle bosses.
Oh boy.
In this arena, the Moment of Reverence, Zanna is reliving a memory of her father, Valdo, giving a
Well, I'm
passionate
glad
speech
that
in
I
Orient.
might be playing
The
hardcore for
Atlas
this
distorts this
season.
memory of her father as a powerful, influential man and manifests those emotions into a twisted nightmare, the incarnation of dread. Another memory created is the incarnation of neglect and the incarnation of fear. Good luck, Exiles.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Of course, if you are brave and strong enough to defeat them, each of these new pinnacle bosses have new unique items befitting them. If you slay the incarnation of fear,
Ooh.
you might be lucky enough to find the Star Caller unique abyssal axe.
Holy.
We're gonna show this one because it's straight up badass. The Starcaller acts as a weapon that can harness the power of the stars themselves to deal immense damage.
What the hell?
What makes it shine, however, is that on melee crit, it casts Starfall, a new skill. With the right build, you can carpet entire areas and wipe out screens of enemies as you
we're
rain
so
down
back.
the elements upon them. Another item you may find, and this one is my favorite, is the Wine of the Prophet unique flask. It consumes a lot of charges,
Oh, wow.
but every time you use it, you draw a random divination card. This card appears above you and correlates to a powerful buff. If you draw the Escape card, you'll gain increased movement speed. Or maybe you'll draw the
Whoa.
Doctor, which will cause you to gain the modifiers of slain rares you kill.
Holy.
Effectively, you can think of this unique as being many other uniques all in one. There are many cards to draw, each with varying degrees of power to grant. Okay,
Oh my
but let's
god.
get back to the Atlas. After defeating all 3 new pinnacle bosses, you'll be able to find new memory-influenced Tier 16 maps. These maps come
What
with
the
the previously
fuck?
mentioned special abilities and monsters infused with memory pedals, but can also roll the same modifiers typically found on Tier 17
Yo, this is giga
making them
juiced.
far more rewarding. With all these new memory maps comes a new item mechanic. Items in these maps can drop with memory strands and will have a random amount up to 100. This does a few things. When you identify the item, it will increase the tiers of modifiers your item has.
What?
Generally
the
speaking,
fuck?
the more memory strands, the better the item will be. On top of this, whenever you're crafting that item using currency orbs to replace or add modifiers, such as alterations, chaos, and so forth, it will consume some memory strands to make the crafted mods more powerful. The new pinnacle bosses also drop new crafting currencies, which can be used to manipulate the amount of memory strands on an item. The Orb of Remembrance will let you add memory strands to any normal equipment. So if you have your perfect base to craft on, and it doesn't already have memory
Fuck.
strands, you can add some before crafting it. The Orb of Unraveling will consume all remaining memory strands on an item to randomly upgrade its mod tiers.
Holy shit.
This orb's effectiveness is based on the number of memory strands it consumes.
Those are gonna be crazy.
The Orb of Intention can be used on memory influence maps to reduce item drops, but improve the chance to find items with memory strands. In the process of adding these new currency items, we realized something was missing. The Shaper and the Elder did not have their own Exalted Orbs. This has now been rectified. Both bosses
Hey, a
now
reason
have
to kill
Exalted
these.
Orbs, which can add their influence to an item.
Apart from fragments.
Zanna was there from the beginning, when the Shaper Pinnacle fight was first added. She helped defeat the Elder, and she was a critical part of the Conqueror's storyline. Now, with all 6 influence types having their own Exalted Orbs, the cycle is complete. It's almost as if we could now do some sort of new, epic, unique item to interact with them. In other news, there of course has to be
Okay.
Atlas passive tree support for this new endgame content. Let's take a look at a few things we're adding. The Grasp the Past notable passive skill increases the chance for the amount of memory strands on items dropped in your memory influence maps to be lucky.
Wow.
This means it will roll the number of memory strands
That
twice,
is giga
keeping
good.
the highest value.
Holy.
By allocating traumatic experience, remembered kindness, or educated upbringing, you'll decrease the chance of finding memory threads that lead to specific bosses.
Okay, so you can
meaning
target
you'll
farm.
have better chances at finding the memory threads you would like to run.
Yeah, you can target farm now.
This is especially useful if you want to target farm a specific boss because of its unique item drops. In sum, the secrets of the Atlas will have you questioning what is real as you attempt to free Zanna from warped memories scattered throughout the Atlas. You'll fight new Guardian and Pinnacle bosses tormenting her, find crazy new Pinnacle uniques, combine and unleash memory petal-empowered skills, juice maps to new heights, and craft powerful new items. While we were showing all the juicy rewards from the new endgame system, you might have noticed that a lot of gold was dropping. Let's talk about that. Gold was introduced during the Settlers of Calguran expansion. It funded the development and operations of King's March, along with various new features such as the currency exchange, the black market, and the passive respec system with Faustus.
Great.
Those features offered by Faustus will be here to stay,
Fantastic.
along with some of the other services Kingsmarch has to offer.
Wait,
We'll get more into that
can we
later,
send ships
but
off?
don't worry. Kingsmarch has already been completed. There will be no more town building. Like before, gold will be used for town services, but we're also adding a new way to use it in the upcoming league.
Let's go, baby.
It's time to talk about Mercenaries of Trathus. In this league, you will meet veterans who have traveled all the way from the lawless cities of Trathus.
Guys, we're so fucking
They're ready
back.
to offer their sinister services, but not for free. You will encounter these mercenaries as you journey through Rayclast, one in each area.
Look at that guy.
They have their own
Look
personalities
at that thumb.
and come with different builds, skills, and items already equipped. After meeting them, as per the Trathan code, they will challenge you to a duel, a test of strength and conviction. Before beginning the duel, you will be offered an overview of the mercenary you've encountered.
Oh, wow.
Here, you can see the gear they have equipped, the skills they employ, and any support effects augmenting those skills. You must now make a choice. You can hire their services, take one of their items, or exile them. If you choose to hire them, for a gold cost, they will accompany you as a skilled combatant to assist you in fighting monsters throughout Rayclast.
Holy shit.
Once you've decided, you can begin the duel. This is a great opportunity to test them, as you don't want to be out of pocket with a useless rookie. However, they're testing you too. They also don't want to be working for an amateur. So,
Wait, so if
what
you
items
die
might
there,
they
do
be
you die
using?
in real life?
Generally speaking, mercenary gear is more powerful than what you'd normally find from defeating monsters, as they've been crafting their items too. They can also come equipped with unique items, those that would make sense for the skills they are using. There are even some new unique items that can only be obtained from defeating them. One such unique is Scornflux. These boots combine agility with the mastery of the arcane. While
Whoa.
equipped, increases to cast speed from Arcane Surge also apply to movement speed, which
Yes.
is worth noting is now 20% inherently from Arcane Surge, up from 10. They also grant Arcane Surge when you use a movement skill. This allows for some speedy spellcasters. Sometimes you may meet particularly infamous Trathan mercenaries, bearing the name of their house. These mercenaries descend from the 4 major death trade families in Trathus. They are less common, but have far better items. And they are also the sole source of items with new, infamous modifiers, unseen before in Rayclast, such as these gloves, which convert all of your minions' fire damage to chaos damage. Or this helmet,
Holy.
which causes nearby enemies to take more physical damage as you gain more fortification.
Holy.
If you're not swayed by any of their equipped gear, however, you can always challenge them for the contents of their pockets. If you lose the duel, don't worry. You don't need to give them an item. You aren't bound to Trathan tradition like they are. However, you are bound to Rayclast tradition, so you'll just die.
Almost at me.
Guys,
While
why did
playing
I
the
say I was
part,
going to play
Each player can
hardcore?
decide whether or not they want to participate in combat against the mercenary. For each player that opts in, the mercenary gets more difficult. But if they're defeated, each player has a 50% chance to get a random reward, which is usually currency items from the mercenary's pouch.
Oh, that's cool.
Alternatively, party members that opt out of the fight can spectate and cheer you on. Or they might wish for your demise, so they can pick up that allocated divine waiting off screen.
Dead. Good.
Huh.
Let's say you won the duel, like their items, and have decided to hire them. What combat skills do they bring to the table? Each mercenary has an archetype. Here, this mercenary is an Eruptor, which perfectly couples with my slower, more aura-focused Scion. This mercenary is highly aggressive, and will get a lot of benefit from the auras and buffs I provided.
Cool.
When I'm playing a more aggressive character myself though, I'll want a mercenary with a bit more resilience and utility. I've just run into a Striker, who can spawn with Vigilant Strike. And if you're lucky, a very rare golden support that causes the Fortify granted by his Vigilant Strike to apply to me as well. He will also
Dude,
frequently use Enduring Cry, taunting enemies
This league's
off
gonna
of
be
and
juiced.
operating as a tanky frontline while I blitz off damage from the back. Sometimes when you fight a mercenary, you may notice the skills they're using are different from normal. For example, this sniper is using a Trathan version of Siege Ballista. If you're lucky, you will be able to select it as your reward when challenging them. Then defeat them, and they'll drop the Trathan gem as promised.
Oh, wow.
You can only have one mercenary accompanying you at a time, but up to 3 total in your service. The other 2 will wait patiently in town. Having varied options is useful, as there may be situations where you need specific backup, like a difficult boss fight. Any of your mercenaries you have active, or in your reserves, can have their equipment replaced with items of your choosing. They don't level up, so you will want to be looking out for more skilled and more powerful mercenaries as you advance through the campaign and endgame. If your mercenary falls in combat, you will need to return to town and spend some gold on healing supplies to get them back on their feet.
Okay.
Then perhaps consider giving them some upgrades, if you think it's deserved. I just wanted to clarify, mercenaries do not lose their equipment when defeated.
Oh.
If your merc buddy consistently fails you, you can just dismiss them and find a new, more resilient ally.
Okay.
You walk your path, I'll walk mine.
Good, we don't have to fight him and die.
Earlier, I mentioned you could exile mercenaries. If you keep running into a mercenary archetype and you think, man, this guy stinks, their gear is trash and they have no auras, you can then choose to exile them. If you win the duel, they'll be forced to leave with their tail between their legs, and you won't encounter that archetype again for a while. Now, alongside these new Trathan arrivals, we shouldn't forget about the recent Calguran ones too.
Okay.
As we mentioned earlier, the Settlers update introduced gold-based respeccing of passive points. You can now do so by talking to a number of NPCs throughout Rayclast, starting with Bestil and Lionized Watch. Black market item gambling, previously just available in Kingsmarch, is now available in each town at the same NPC.
Great.
This lets you buy randomly generated item bases for gold. Very useful if you're stuck for upgrades or searching for a specific unique.
Great. Target
The
farm.
currency exchange will be returning too. Starting from Lionized Watch in Act 6, you'll be able to find Faustus, who can help facilitate these trades.
Great.
Now, after almost a year of building, Johan is finally satisfied with the upgrades made to the town, and now its services can be used to their full effect.
Oh.
Kingsmarch is going core, but there will be no more town building.
Okay.
As you start running maps in the endgame, you'll start to find different ore veins, which Calguran workers can mine for you. The shipping mechanic invites you to send these ores
Yes!
and crops
I
to
love the
Karui
shipping
and Calguran
mechanic.
ports, and they'll return rewards in kind. By sending shipments, you'll receive different items, but by sending to Karui ports, you will also receive tattoos, which can be used on your passive tree to change what stats they grant.
Great.
The Calguran ports will be sending back rune grafts, which is a new passive tree mechanic that replaces the runesmithing service previously offered by the town.
Oh.
These are similar to tattoos, but instead of replacing stat nodes, they replace a passive tree mastery node.
Oh.
For example, Runegraft of the Bound reduces bonuses gained from boots, but increases bonuses gained from gloves. Runegraft of the River has a chance to recover your life to full if you reach low life. And the Runegraft of Time, which has a chance for your cooldown skills to instantly recover from their cooldown, which I will note includes cooldowns on your triggers, just in case you wanted to trigger even more spells. There are many other Runegrafts which cover a wide range of different builds and stats.
Great.
Some are more common and others rarer. You can only use one of a given type at a time, but you can use them on any mastery on your passive tree, which can be particularly useful for off-class investment. Isla has continued to make modifications to the Recombinator. She has developed a new method of recombination that you may recognize from Path of Exile 2. For those unfamiliar, this method allows you to decide which modifiers on the 2 input items you want to try merge together, and it has a success chance you can see.
Huh.
This method can result in the items being destroyed. However, it is a good option to use when trying to create items with fewer mods to use as crafting projects.
Great.
Given the existing recombinating mechanic was very powerful for top-end crafting, we didn't want to remove it. We have kept it, and you can now choose to use it the old way or the new way. By
That's
letting
incredible.
Fate decide, it will combine the two items randomly. There is no risk of destroying either item, but it will be less predictable.
Cool.
As Settlers is now a core mechanic, we've also added Atlas passive tree support. For example, if you wanted to gather more Verisium ore, you could take this notable. Each ore has a similar node.
They are winning, chat.
Refiner's Bargain converts items dropped by possessed monsters into thaumaturgic dust, sulfite into random ores, and life force into random crops. We've also added a set of Calguran scarabs, so you can add more ore deposits, increase the rarity of monsters that guard ore deposits to at least magic, or gather smelted bars from ore you mark instead of ores. To sum it all up, Kingsmarch is now a thriving town where you can employ a swath of workers to collect resources, refine ores, craft items, and run maps for you. Send shipments of resources in exchange for tattoos and rune grafts, using those to modify your passive tree to an extent never seen before. Following on from that, we've also made a substantial rework to another important mechanic, Betrayal. As a refresher, and to explain to new players, let's briefly explain what Betrayal is. Betrayal is a mechanic introduced in Act 9 and tells the story of Jun Ortoy and her investigation of the Immortal Syndicate.
There's a story?
This is a mysterious group of exiles who can seemingly come back from death. You must help Jun to uncover their leader, the Syndicate Mastermind. The Immortal Syndicate is organized into 4 divisions: transportation, fortification, research, and intervention. As you encounter the Immortal Syndicate members, you'll gain intelligence for each of these divisions to discover the location of their leaders, tracking them to their safe houses. Defeating the division leaders at their safe houses will reward you with intelligence on the Syndicate Mastermind. In your journey to track down the Syndicate leader, you'll manipulate the members of the Immortal Syndicate to change divisions, form friendships and rivalries, and even banish them from the Syndicate for a time. Historically, after encountering and defeating the Syndicate Mastermind, the state of the Immortal Syndicate would reset, requiring you to start from the beginning of the investigation again. This has always been a difficult decision for players and can often feel bad. Do you fight the Mastermind for a chance at the special loot, or keep farming the safe houses that you've spent so long setting up?
I mean,
Well, in the Secrets of the Atlas expansion, we've split out the Mastermind to be completely separate from the core mechanic.
oh.
The boss is now accessible through a new fragment that has a chance to drop from the safe house leaders at high levels. The Mastermind
Whoa.
no longer resets the state of the Immortal Syndicate. You
So
can
you
now
could-
build your betrayal board to your liking, optimize it, do Mastermind fights, and reap the rewards without having to lose all your progress
Oh
every time.
my god. That's
The
huge.
boss fight itself has also been improved, now with significantly fewer immunity phases and new rewards.
Great.
By the way, if you're a new player to Path of Exile 1, don't worry about all this detail. This content is optional, and you can discover and engage with it at your own pace.
Those are incredible
The
changes.
Mastermind still has a chance to drop a Veiled Orb, now renamed to Veiled Exalted Orb. Veiled Chaos Orbs are being re-added to other safe house leaders.
Great.
In addition, the Mastermind now drops the new All Flame Embers. All Flame Embers are map fragments that replace monster packs and in-game maps with different types of special monsters.
Oh,
These packs have unusual properties, compositions, or rewards.
just more Gamba.
For example, you might use the All Flame Ember of Kulamak, which replaces packs with Syndicate monsters and their leaders, who revive after the map boss has been slain. This might at first sound annoying due to backtracking, but these monsters when revived are far more intense and rewarding. It is our intention with All Flames to provide many different types that combine with other mechanics, multiplying with your existing modifiers in new and interesting ways. Another good example of this is the All-Flame Ember of Propagation. When slain, special rare monsters added by this All-Flame here will spread their modifiers to other rare monsters in the map. This can be useful when trying to create singular, very powerful, and very rewarding monsters. Something akin to meat sacks, which are making a reinvented comeback with this update too. Another is the All-Flame Ember of Resplendence,
Jeez.
which adds monsters that drop no items. But when you slay them, you get buff stacks of increased quantity and rarity to enhance the drops of all other monsters. All-Flame Embers can be placed in your map device like scarabs, and used in conjunction with scarabs to further customize your maps. We're looking forward to seeing which combinations players find to enhance their maps. Perhaps you'll use all scarabs, all flames, or maybe mix and match. It's up to you. The Mastermind's unique items have also been improved. The veiled modifiers generated on these items are now from a custom pool exclusive to those uniques.
Oh.
Bitter Bind Point, for example, can now have various Spectre-specific outcomes, such as +1 additional Spectre. Aside
Whoa.
from improved rewards from the Mastermind, all the Safe House rewards have also been rebalanced. We've done a pass on the crafting sprees at the end of many safe houses. For those who aren't aware how these crafting sprees work, well, it's simple. There's a crafting bench with an item in it and a bunch of currency. There's a limited amount of time, and your only objective is to craft the best item possible before the time
Wait,
ends.
but the time's so
One
much
of the
more.
problems that the crafting sprees have is that they often require you to have specific items on hand in order to best maximize your result. But how are you supposed to know that beforehand? In order to solve this, most of the crafting sprees now offer pre-generated items. This has also allowed us to add much more powerful crafting options in each spree. Let's take a
Good.
look at a few examples.
Incredible.
In this spree, a randomly generated amulet or ring will be waiting for you. Test your crafting skill or luck with this Reflecting Mist crafting spree, and see if you can create something worthy of Kalandra's praise.
Okay.
And in this spree, you will find a pre-generated unique item, and a new kind of orb that resembles a Val orb, but not quite the same. Normally, you can only corrupt an item once, but uniques in this spree can be corrupted and re-corrupted as many times as there are orbs. This orb also allows you to get 2 corrupted implicits, and has a much lower chance to brick the item. It can be a very useful tool for seeking specific corrupted implicit outcomes. Of course, if you push your luck, you can still ruin the item.
Hell yeah.
There are also crafting sprees where you still need to provide
Syndicate's
an item,
back,
but
baby!
those items are generally more accessible, and it occurs less frequently. This one allows you to bring your own normal rarity item, then just go ballistic with a whole ton of scouring orbs and orbs of chance, hoping to get your ideal unique.
Hell yeah.
For most sprees, the rank of the syndicate member increases the amount of currency provided, the quality of the pre-generated items, and the time allowed to craft your item. Aside from the crafting sprees, there are other new options too.
Let's do a chat check-in.
If you love gambling for currency, how about you try opening Varici's Emperor's Luck chests? These work just like the Emperor's Luck divination card and provide full stacks of currency. If you're lucky enough, unlike me, you could end up with a whole lot of divines. Betrayal is a good source of veiled items. Veiled items have
When
some
does this go
important
live? Next
quality of
week.
life
You can click the
improvements in
link
this
down below the
expansion
stream
too.
for more info.
All of the crafting bench options normally granted by unveiling items are instead now moved to the core game, so you don't need to run Betrayal to unlock them. They are instead found at the entrances to boss rooms and in-game maps.
What?
You can just right-click them, or the equivalent on gamepad, and select which veiled modifier you want to unveil.
What just happened?
Overall, Betrayal is now much more streamlined and more rewarding. Happy interrogations.
Shut up!
Do you have a build in mind? Brother, the league... We don't even... We're 34 minutes
Before we
into
get
the
into our quality
announcement.
of life additions, let's quickly talk about some character balance. We will be doing our regular character balance changes, where we are bringing outliers in line to help evolve the meta, but we are also focusing our attention on buffing some specific things. This includes spellcasting supports that specifically enhance self-casting builds, channeled spells,
Oh.
adding new options to the Guardian, Berserker, Elementalist, Saboteur, and Champion Ascendancy classes,
Oh,
which
wow.
includes some favorites from some of the alternate classes from Legacy of Freesia, and buffing a whole bunch of transfigured gems that never really hit the mark. Combined with the new endgame crafting, improved betrayal crafting options, rune graphs for your passive tree, new pinnacle unique items, new modifiers and Trathan gems from the Mercenaries, and of course the Mercenaries themselves to act as an extension to your character, it's safe to say there's a lot of new character options and builds to think about. Instead of delving into all of these in more detail, we figured we'd just let you absorb them through the patch notes so you can do it at your own pace. In the Secrets of the Atlas expansion, we've also added a lot of the quality of life features that we know you've all been asking for. A lot of these have already been posted, but let's take a look now in case you missed any. You can now pause the game at any time by pressing escape to open the menu.
Yep.
Or by opening any full screen interface, like the passive tree. You'll also be paused if any lag is detected or if you disconnect.
I saw that.
It's worth noting that in certain pinnacle arenas, a debuff will be applied to you that prevents you from pausing. We're also making a change to how you use currency items on strongboxes and monsters imprisoned in essences. Based on the currency in your inventory and the state of the strongbox, these buttons will appear. Valuable
Oh
currency
my
like
God,
divine
that's-
orbs have been excluded from this as it would
That
often be
is
wasteful to use in this context.
insanely
The same
good.
applies to essences with the remnant of corruption currency. Orbs of Horizon have been updated. They can now reroll your Elder and Conqueror Guardian maps.
Oh, that's cool.
Doing so will reroll the base map and the Guardian of that map. The map device now has a small additional inventory. This is particularly useful if you're rolling many maps to run in sequence, or if you want to use varying amounts of scarabs or other map fragments. During
Yo.
breach encounters, all the splinters will be automatically collected and dropped at the end of the breach. On gamepads, we have separated the targeting of monsters and non-monsters, so you are able to target them independently. This removes a bunch of frustration when you are trying to interact with objects in the world and monsters are nearby. You no longer have to kill all of them first.
Okay.
Vendor windows will now remember your last search. This is remembered until you log out and is remembered on a per NPC basis.
Wow.
The amount of characters you can type in the search field has also been increased. When using currency items, after right-clicking them, it will highlight all other items which that currency can be used on.
Huge.
There are many other quality of life improvements, so keep an eye on the patch notes after this livestream concludes. Alongside the launch of Secrets of the Atlas, we are hosting a competitive event where players will race to be the first to kill the new pinnacle bosses.
Obviously, I'm gonna win
The
that,
event will
chap.
take place in the hardcore, solo self-found Mercenaries of Trathis League. We have some interesting prizes in store for the winners. Keep an eye on the news in the lead up to launch for more details about how the event will work and what its prizes are.
Yeah, I'm gonna win that.
Next up, we're going to be talking about our new League supporter packs. Today, we're launching two new series of supporter packs, the Frisian Magistrate and Crypt Keeper packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Frisian Magistrate series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Frisian Magistrate character effect will bind your
What?
character in thorny vines and roses. You can select which parts of the character you want to have covered. Either your entire body, your lower body, or your upper body. As you approach waypoints, it will emit leaves and golden petals towards it. When activating the waypoint, it will create a burst around you.
Huh.
Envelop your weapon in thorny vines and golden flora with the Frisian Magistrate weapon effect. Your weapon will also create a trail to match as you swing, and even comes with its own hit effect when slaying enemies.
Okay.
You are the law while wearing the armor of the powerful Frisian Grand Magistrate. The Spider Blossom Pet activates its defense mechanism, disguising it as an elegant flower when near rare or unique enemies. The Frisian Imperial Magistrate back attachment comes in two forms.
They're kind of running out
Equip either
of
the
ideas.
Tombstone variant, which will leave tombstones in your honor when you meet your demise, or equip the Cape variant to cause the corpses of slain enemies to become enveloped in rose-thorn vines and blossom with golden flowers. Keep track of how well, or poorly, your ultimatums with the Trial Master have gone with the Trials of Chaos hideout decoration. It will keep track of the total number of waves completed, the total number of ultimatums succeeded, or even failed. On top of that, it will track the total number of times you've defeated the Trial Master himself. The Crypt Keeper Pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
Now that's a cool map.
With the Crypt Keeper finisher effect, death itself will tear through into the realm of the living and steal the soul of slain unique enemies. The Crypt Keeper portal effect creates a gateway for lost souls to pass through. Become the true master of the undead by wearing the hallowed Crypt Keeper armor set. It comes with a more armored helmet variant and a creepy mask with a spectral hood.
Jeez.
Looking to have some fun during idle time in your hideout? The Burrowing Bramble Bash hideout decoration will test your reaction speed as you try to whack as many Devourer heads as possible in the shortest time. It also comes with a scoreboard, so you can try to set new records to show off to your friends or just visitors coming to trade.
Sure.
Equip yourself with the Ghostly Dead as you ride the line between the living and the dead with the Sacred Crypt Keeper back attachment.
Sure.
The Sacred Archives map device resembles a magical library with the works of scholars that come to life when you open a map. This map device tracks how many of each core league you've completed in in-game maps. These packs are now available for purchase on both PC and console, and will remain so during Path of Exile, Mercenaries of Trathus. Additionally, any microtransactions from these supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 2. Meanwhile, the Paladin and Penance packs leave the store forever at the launch of the Mercenaries of Trathus League.
Did I get those?
So now's your last chance to purchase them. Additionally, the Dawn of the Hunt mystery box will be made available for Path of Exile 1.
Oh,
if you
nice.
have already unlocked any microtransactions from this box in Path of Exile 2, you will of course immediately have access to them in Path of Exile 1. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
That's good.
We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, we'll post the full patch notes for Path of Exile, Secrets of the Atlas.
Stream just lagged.
With release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you'll need for the release.
What? Huh?
Keep an eye on the news. Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to dueling mercenaries, fighting new...
What was that, Mark?
pinnacle bosses in the endgame, and exploring the new crafting systems and character builds next week. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
All right. Well, hey, I got to swap over to another sponsored stream, but if you guys want to watch the Q&A, you can head on over to Path of Exile on Twitch. That league looks absolutely insane. Obviously, I'm going to play the hell out of that. And like I said, if we hit 3,000 subs...
Welcome back, Exiles, to another...
I guess I'm playing hardcore. Why did I agree? Why did I? That's just it's just not smart. It just isn't smart. You know? It just didn't really think about that. Now wait, hold on. If I die in hardcore, is my character gone or does it move to softcore? Is it gone? Oh, you can move it to softcore. Oh, standard. It moves to standard, not season. Oh. I don't know why that tracking link isn't working. That's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know why that didn't work. Anyway, shout out to GGG Grinding Gear Games for sponsoring us. We're going to swap on over to another sponsored stream. Mods, if you want to get everything set up for the NVIDIA GeForce Now sponsor. Over on YouTube, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back. We're going to play some Dune. Okay? See you guys soon. Bye.